What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Virzi Effect Podcast Show. My name is Paul Virzi, and you guys are listening to episode 590. Before I get started, I want to thank everybody who's been watching the show. The show has been boosted up so much, and it's because of you guys. So please continue to rate, review, leave comments. It moves the show up. Get it everywhere you get your podcast, iTunes, Spotify, everywhere else. And yeah, guys, since we've been in the studio, it's been amazing, and I want to thank everybody who's coming out to the shows. I will be in San Diego, California at the American Comedy Company, October 6th and 7th. Philadelphia Helium, October 20th, 21st. I think we have Funny Bone in Hartford, November 1. Funny Bone in Albany, November 2. And I got a big announcement coming up for New Year's Eve in New York City. But let's get into this episode. My guest today is, dude, one of the funniest comics I have ever seen in New York City. When I came here, I'm from here, so I shouldn't say came here, but I'm from the suburbs. I didn't travel, but I saw this dude so young, and I got a great story to tell you about that. The incomparable, the legendary, and the new special having Todd Barry is here.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you for being here, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
So I got to tell you a story.
Okay.
First of all, congratulations on the special.
Oh, thank you.
Domestic Short Hair.
Domestic Short Hair.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. Look it up.
All Things Comedy channel.
Yeah, All Things Comedy.
This thing is flying off the shelf already. It's crushing, and Todd is I mean,
I've made millions off it already.
Yeah. Years ago, I am literally in maybe my first year. For like, you're barely doing it in New York when you get here, right?
Right.
You're like, come bring 3 audience members.
Right. You're trying to figure out where to go on stage.
Yeah, like the New York Comedy Club did a new talent night that this guy Steve Aarons ran, and do you remember that guy?
Is that the guy Rumpelmeyer?
I don't know. All I know is he goes, bring 3 paid customers, will put you up. They told me I'd go up at 9 o'clock. I go up at 11 something.
Right.
It was just an absolute marathon. It was during these times of me doing it. So me and a buddy who was also new go, let's go to the Cellar. We got to go to the Cellar. That's the place. And this is when the Cellar was like, I mean, dude, I'm talking like this is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
This is 20 years ago. And we're sitting in the corner, me and this other comic who are so new, and we're in the corner. So if you're on stage, it's stage left, and somebody in the crowd said something to us. And my buddy, which I didn't want him to say, he goes, "No, we're comics." And I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Come on. This is like, first of all, we're not even ready for anything. Like, don't say that. You must have been next. Or you must have somehow you heard that.
Right.
And you get on stage and you just start talking and you looked over at me and him and you just go, "Watch and learn, fellas."
Oh, did I?
It was so fucking, and I'll never forget that 20 years later. But you came over in the classic Todd Barry cadence and you just go, "Watch and learn, fellas." And it was so great. But you've been doing, are you from New York City? No.
I was born in New York City. Then I moved to Florida when I was 8. And then I moved back in 89. Like 100 years old now.
So you started doing comedy in Florida or
here?
here?
In Florida, yeah.
Oh, you did?
In 1987. Ooh.
1987?
Yeah,
Do you remember your first set ever?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know. It's November 1st, 1987. It was...
Wow.
It was at a place called Coconuts Comedy Club, and there was a chain of them in...
I heard of the Coconuts.
Yeah, there used to be like... You could just... In that comedy boom of the 80s, you could come down to Florida and work for like 2 months, just be like making your whatever money you're making, but being a comic for 2 months in Florida. But I did open mic. They had open mics like during the regular show, during the headliner show.
Oh, okay.
So you would go up, yeah. So you could call up and go, "Hey, can I be a comic tomorrow?" "Yeah, we'll put you on." And it wasn't like fiercely competitive like it is in New York.
Yeah.
And my first one, I went up in front of like a kind of a full house of people.
Oh, like regular.
Yeah, people were pumped about comedy. It wasn't just like, there's that guy's waiting to get on. There's that guy getting the weight on. You know what I mean?
Do you remember how you did?
I did quite well, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I've since bombed many times, but I'm not one of those guys that I've always killed. But yeah, it happened to go well. I was very prepared. The audience was pumped.
there's nobody who stands in the pocket like you and just because the thing about and what I love is and it's something to learn from a comic is like you're not going to change. Like you're not going to change, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not going to if somebody before you has a ton of energy and the room is like
Right.
you're going to go and just do what you do.
Yeah. That's all you can do, really.
Yeah.
Like if I tried to be like and also you don't necessarily have to be high energy.
No.
After a high energy act. I mean, I've followed acts where I was sweating while I was watching them, and there's like, guy's got wigs he's putting on, like fucking doing voices, and I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be, and I'm just like, please God, no, don't put me up next, and then it's fine.
Yeah. It's funny how you watch somebody before you and they're killing and they're doing something, and when you're a younger comic, you're like, I got to match this, or I got to try to figure. And it's like, no. What you have to do is let the crowd know that it's time for. It's time to just, it's a clean palette, right?
Right.
I remember I opened for Sebastian once, and he was nice, but the thing is, Sebastian didn't like people that cursed, and I curse. And I remember when he got on stage, he kind of was letting the crowd know, like, all right, it's time to, because he's a he's kind of a family-friendly, would you say family-friendly?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely ethnic, it's Italian and stuff like that, but I think anybody can watch it, so I'm up there just kind of saying my shit, and he was just like, I could tell when he got on stage, he just let the people know, but that's the same thing with you. I'm sure you've had openers that were completely different than you.
Yeah, I mean, I try to...
Try to keep it the same?
I try to have someone who gets them listening, and I always love when I have an opening act on the road or whatever, and people come and go, oh, I never heard of your opener, they were great too, you know? They have a good night as opposed to just me. It's
funny that you said that because I was told a long time ago, and I think that this is true, is the best headliners want their openers to kill and do well.
I don't know about kill, but
You're like, let's not get,
it's just decent, solid. We're like, they were fine. They were the opening act. No,
it's my turn now.
Yeah. It's Daddy's paying for all this.
I put you up. I put you in the hotel. And you also, another thing too, because you have that like awesome career, I think, where it's like you kind of just do, you do stand up, and stand up is your first thing, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's your love, but you act and stuff. And I started to get a little bit into acting, and I was really afraid of it. I was afraid of acting, maybe more than stand up.
Right.
And then when you kind of get into it and you do it, it was something amazing about like being somebody else and like seeing it play out and be kind of cool. And I know that you did that in, I remember the thing you did was it Road Trip?
Yeah, it was in a Road Trip, yeah.
And also in The Wrestler.
I was in The Wrestler, yeah.
And you played like an asshole in The Wrestler, right?
I did, yeah. You could, yeah. I was not a great guy in that.
Are you allowed to talk? Do you have any stories about the Mickey Rourke? Like,
yeah, I mean,
if you have any stories,
I've told
about
them
that,
on other podcasts, but
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I mean,
well, that's all right. This is the Virzi effect.
I mean, that movie came out, and we'll go, oh yeah, this is these stories are so good, you can just hear them over and over and over again. I mean, there was the one that I told recently. It was there was a scene where it gets really chaotic in the deli, and Mickey Rourke just started throwing stuff, and he started throwing stuff at me. Like, we were kind of arguing. When he snaps, I say something to him that makes him snap, and he hit me like.
What?
Yeah, I mean, it was acting, but I think he hit me with like a big box of foil.
Oh, did it hurt?
It didn't feel. It was like a thing where they had to kind of stop and go.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, don't hurt. You can't injure the actor, and also I wasn't ready for it. So I mean, I wasn't injured permanently or anything like that, but it was a little just unexpected because he's a big dude.
Yeah,
and he's hurling shit at me.
Did he apologize? Like, did he?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really. I had very little conversation with him.
Yeah. Then that's. Was he like intimidating off like?
Yeah, I mean, when I first met him, he just seems very like intense and self-absorbed, and you kind of like, hey, how you doing? But this was kind of a funny story. I went to the Venice Film Festival.
Yeah.
Because I just said, can I go to the Venice Film Festival? Because it got in.
Yeah.
And I had to bankroll the whole thing, but it was fine, and like a once in a lifetime thing probably. And I was just wandering around Venice, and I ended up at a bar. And he's sitting at the table with some people, and I just and one of them recognized me from the film. So they worked in the film. And he looks at me, and Mickey Rourke looks at me, and someone goes, no, he was an actor. He was in the scenes with you. And he goes, oh, and then he gives me a fist bump. But he just reacted like I was this lunatic walking up to his table.
Like, who's this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
But
He's ready to get
Then
this
he goes,
guy out of
"Hey,"
here.
He goes, hey. He gives me like, yeah, I mean, there's just some people you work with who are very, I did Bored to Death, and with, that show Bored to Death that was on HBO.
Yes, I know. I didn't watch it, but I know it. Yeah.
And I did it like with Jason Schwartzman, who's a pretty big actor, and he would just like sit down across from you while you're eating, and you
Talk
end
to
up
you.
chatting about music or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone's got their own style and personality.
You always hear that. You always hear that, like, you'll find something out about somebody, and you're just the people that you feel like the people that you're intimidated by. Well, Mickey Rourke would be one that, like, is, I guess, the exception, because I feel like sometimes when you feel like somebody's going to be like a dick, all of a sudden they're not. And that's always good. Like, I remember I was on the set with Bobby Cannavale, and Bobby Cannavale is great.
Yeah.
But I'm nervous, because like he's kind of like this intense, actor, and he's been in all of these movies, and he's just kind of, has a presence that you think he would be very standoffish and not easy to talk to. And he could not.
Yeah, I met him a few times.
He could not have been cooler.
He was nice, yeah.
Like off camera, he was so cool, and then like outside the thing, he was reading a book, and you figure he's just like in his thing, getting ready for his scene, and he would just put the book down and talk and has everything, and then just go back, and you're like, that's really, really cool.
What was this that you were filming?
This is a movie coming out. This is Old Dads. That's coming out.
Oh, with
Burr and
Burr.
and Bokeem. And Bobby Cannavale. So we did this scene at this strip club in LA, and Bobby and I are like sitting across from each other, and it was just like, at first I'm petrified.
Yeah.
You're sitting next to a guy like that's been in all, and I'm like this comic, and then he's just like the coolest thing, and
Yeah, it is amazing some of the opportunities you end up having, like. Just like I did a thing on I did Inside Amy Schumer. That's what I was talking about. At Home with Amy Sedaris.
Oh yeah.
And there was a scene with me and Paul Giamatti.
Oh my God.
Like sitting next to me at a dinner table, and it's just like, okay, like, and I kind of stepped on his line a couple of times, but he was very nice, and but it's just also like, I can't believe I'm sitting here at a table with Paul Giamatti and acting with him. But
so. How many movies have you done?
Oh God. So maybe 10. I don't know how many I've done. I mean, I've never counted.
Do you like it?
I like it. Yeah, I do. I kind of really want to do some more acting. I'd like to do like a bigger part in something. But then there is the whole thing with acting. I find as a comic, maybe you notice, is like you go from waking up whenever you want and no one telling you what to do to the complete opposite.
I know.
You're waking up at 4 a.m. and you're going to be told what to do. But it's also. It's pretty nice, there's food laid out, and it's pretty good.
No, you're right though. We are not animals that can be caged, especially when you're doing late night spots. You're kind of coming and going as you please. Nobody tells you shit during the day. I remember my buddy got a writing gig. He was a head writer for a sports show, and I was like, he's like, why don't you come in part-time? Why don't you come in once a week and just write with us for like 4 hours? And I was in there for like the first hour. I'm going, this is fucking horrible. This is like, I can't believe you guys come in here all day, eat lunch in here, talk all day about the same show, all that. For me, as a comic, it's like, that's hell for me. And I think that's why we kind of moved into what we eventually moved into as a profession. What did you do before you did stand-up in 87? Or were you just super young?
I was super young, but I had just no like career-ish jobs. I was a substitute teacher for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Here in New York and in Florida, and which is a super flexible. Because literally you can work any day you want to work and not work any day you don't want to work. So it's not like if I had a waiting job, although I did that as well, where you'd have to be like, I have to trade shifts with someone because I got a gig. But this is just like, all right, I'm free for all gigs.
Yeah, it's this job that we have is so unbelievable that like I can now I have a wife and kids, so I can't, but I can literally just be in bed till like when I'm on the road with no kids, I'm good. Like I would say I get out of bed at like I mean I get hungry at like 11, but I'll eat and go back. I'm just lay in bed. Oh, I'll lay in bed. Yeah.
I'm not. You Hefner it up.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not like gonna like walk around Oklahoma City during the day to see what the sights. No, like I mean, I'll do it maybe once, like or if like, listen, don't get me wrong. If I'm in a city that you have to, But if I'm sitting off a highway, in
Yeah, I mean, a
fucking
highway is
Texas,
I mean, highway's different.
oh, you're one of those. You go and you do everything that the town has to.
I mean, I don't like fill my calendar with, but I do. I don't never wanted to be someone who just goes there and just
Sits.
fucks off on his laptop. Like why? Because I feel like you're traveling, so you might as well get the travel aspect.
Yeah.
And also, you find cool areas and places, even like Oklahoma City. There's cool areas and
Yeah.
cool people. But yeah, I mean, I definitely waste a lot of time, but I like to at least walk around and find a
Yeah.
good coffee shop.
Now you bring a lady friend with you on the road or no?
I have brought my girlfriend a few times.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So then you can't just, especially then you can't just be like, "Hey, we're sitting.
Yeah, we're staying
We're staying in the Holiday Inn.
Courtyard by Marriott, baby. We don't want to waste this.
Pool closes at 7.
You gotta wake up early for that breakfast buffet. That sad breakfast buffet.
They got a killer Continental at this Courtyard. Yeah.
But I just brought her to a private party gig I did where the guy put us up in the Peninsula Hotel in Chicago, which was I got the receipt for my confirmation for the room, and it was a $750 a night room or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was pretty nice.
Yeah.
So it's just like, this happens all the time, baby. In fact, I don't like this. This room's not big enough. The 2 rooms that we have.
If it's under 1,000, what am I, a peasant?
I know.
Oh, that's great. Where's that? Chicago?
Yeah, it was a guy's 40th birthday party. I did it with Rory Scovel.
Oh, Roy's great. Yeah.
And it just happened to be like this kind of like, because you get a birthday party gig, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
But this guy was like, clearly, he picked me and Rory Scovel. So he likes comedy.
Yes.
And then I found that he actually was he was a comic himself. And
oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, so it was good. Really good.
Yeah, that's those. Nothing is like when your agent hits you up and goes, "Hey, I just got offered a corporate that I'm doing, and it's not stand up. They want me to I guess they're a fan, and they kind of want me to interview somebody for 15 minutes.
Oh, that's a fucking breeze.
And the money's tremendous. And I'm going what? And they're like, yeah, you're gonna get a suite. And you're gonna get VIP transportation, and they want you to interview somebody, and and I saw the money, and I was like, is something are they gonna?
I know. Well, when's this practical joke gonna reveal itself?
Yeah. Am I coming back from this? I got kids, but that's the thing. When you have I got 2 kids, man. And they're 14 and 11. One just started high school. One just started junior high school, and it's now I feel when I go away, I wish they could be I want to take them with me.
Yeah.
Because they're at the ages we go to a game, we could go to dinners, they could see the city. I want them to, and there are some cities that I think are underrated that I think Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is incredible.
I always list that as an underrated city.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is the people are great, the food is great.
It's a cool looking
the
city
sites,
also.
Yeah, the sites are amazing, the bridges. And I'm a big fan of Salt Lake City. I think
it's a nice one.
Salt Lake City is a beautiful one. So those are things now. When I was, a little younger and they were too young, I'm it's crazy to be here with little kids while I'm telling jokes at night. But now it's people are oh, you should go camping in Salt Lake City, do stuff like that. So I don't want to act like I'm just this bum, and I don't drink a lot. On the road alone. If I'm with a friend, we'll go out after a show, but I'm not a big let's booze all night, I'm going to sleep all day type of thing. I actually kind of really enjoy sleeping and not having to deal with anything. I get the room to 65 degrees.
Yeah, that's my temp also.
You go 65?
65, yep.
Yeah, 65.
I just was in Europe, and last few times I've been in Europe, it just their air conditioning is just a different scene there, and you're just kind of going, oh man, that back to the Courtyard by Marriott, and you're like, oh. 65, boom, brrr. I love being freezing in a hotel room.
Dude, freezing in a hotel room I don't understand these people who go 72. It's 72.
Yeah.
I'll give you 68.
Yeah, we'll split the difference on that one. 68, you won't hear a complaint from me. But
now I got to ask this question with you on the show, okay? Because you're the type of guy that I got to know this, and I think people that no, nothing.
Okay.
What was your relationship with your father? No. What I was going to say is, what is a Todd Barry vice? Are you a gambler? Are you a drinker? Is it? I mean, there's got to be.
I do drink a little bit, maybe a couple a week.
Be funny if he was like, Paul, Coke.
I had Coke and heroin, ketamine. No, I've never been a drug guy, and I've never smoked or anything. I mean, I'd say maybe my eating. Is that count as a vice? It's not the best eating.
No, I think who was on the show recently? Joe List was on the show talking about that, where he just eats like I guess garbage. I guess shitty. Or now, when you say like the eating, is it like you're talking fast food stuff?
Yeah, I mean it's not. I mean I've certainly eaten with people who are like, what the fuck do you care at all about yourself? Like just like fries, dessert, milkshake. All right, I mean you can do all those at once. What's your favorite horrible food? Oh, I mean I like like chicken fingers and
greasy shit.
Yeah, pizza, just kind of comfort food. And I love Asian food.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't call that junk food. But yeah.
Well, Chinese food is. We got into an argument with this. I think Chinese food there's a big hoax with Chinese food. Here's what Chinese food does, and I've said it multiple times on the show, so I don't want to sound redundant. But Chinese food weighs you down with the rice and the veggies, and they put a lot less meat. Okay, so this is a money making scheme. Okay, they chop up.
Well, it is a restaurant. So.
Yeah, but they know what they're doing.
It's not free food at the restaurant. There's a goal there.
They make the bag. When you get the bag, it's heavy. That's a lot of white rice. There's a lot of chopped up vegetables. There's a lot of sauces. They do put the beef and the chicken on top, but it's never the ratio.
Yeah,
is not fooling me.
What about like a General Tso's chicken? Or
that's a good one.
Yeah.
See that. If you go Chinese, you got to get your money's worth.
You got to get the stuff that's not really Chinese food.
Yeah. I want the fried stuff that they just put like Asian sauce on.
Right. Or like if you went to China and ordered orange chicken, they'd be like, are you joking? What are you talking about?
Yeah, our Americanized Chinese food is not Chinese food.
No, but it's good.
I want to go. You know where I want to go, and I've never been. Have you been to Japan?
Yeah, I went there once. Yeah,
I want to go to Japan, and I want to eat the sushi in Japan.
Yeah, I'm not a big sushi guy, but Japan is an amazing place to visit.
Yeah,
and I've heard that it's actually you'd have to try to not find good places to eat there, like pretty much any place you walk into.
Yeah. Did you perform there or no?
No, I just went. I think it was my first. It could have been my first ever solo vacation. Or I just
went. See, that's wild to me. The only people that I've heard do that are you and Ari Shaffir.
Yeah.
Where like. That's a different type of dude, man, to just go and be like, and it seems so awesome and free, but that seems wild to fly to Japan and just like, but then you can do your pace.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of a rush trip because I kind of squeezed it in between some work, so I was only there less than a week, which is not enough for. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, and I ended up running it. People wrote to me who like I knew a little bit, who were like, I'm in Japan too, and I ended up going to get lunch with someone you met in New York like for twice or something. Yeah, and then my friend's band was there, so I didn't interact with people. But
you act like that person from New York that was like such a close friend just because it's familiar. You met him once, and you're like, thank God, thank God.
But it was there were people who were like, oh, I know that guy a little bit, and he just happened, I guess I tweeted about going to Japan, and he goes, oh, I've been living here 3 months. I go, all right, let's get some lunch or something. And then he shows you around and shows you shit that you never would have known because he's been there for 3 months.
That's awesome.
But I'm not necessarily someone who will, if someone will say, hey, I have a friend who lives there. Pretty much I'll be like, no, I'm good. Like,
right.
I want to be alone. But I'm pretty picky about who I would want to hang out with.
Yeah, I see that. I see you being like, listen, give me my fucking...
Yeah.
I'm
going to get lost. I'm going to go get lost by myself.
That is kind of... Could you imagine, though, Mikey? I couldn't imagine, like, going to Japan alone at first would be scary on the plane, but then when you get there and you get in your hotel, you're kind of like, I'm in Japan.
Yeah.
It's like Macaulay Culkin when they all left. But
it's my dream.
What?
I'd love to go to Japan alone.
Well, dude, Ari Shaffir, he went to like the Philippines for like 3 months, like hiking.
Oh, see
and I'm
that?
going like, see, that shit I can't. Like, I can't do that, dude.
No, I'd be too sad doing that. Because I do get, I do like, every time I've taken a solo vacation, I've taken a few now, I kind of always reach that point where you're like, this is cool, I'm doing a solo vacation. You're kind of like, it's kind of more fun to be with someone, isn't it? It'd kind of be more fun. like sitting at this, even if you go to like a great restaurant, you're sitting there like, that's good. Man, I'm treating myself. This is the best restaurant in Oaxaca, Mexico. And you're like, it'd kind of be nice to share this salsa that was made in front of us.
You're just looking at the empty seat in front of you, just like imagining, wow, if somebody I really cared about was here, this would be...
Yeah. But I'm glad that I'm not someone who like, do you eat out alone ever?
Just on the road.
Yeah,
you know, when I go on the road, as a matter of fact, in Oklahoma City, I walked to this place and they had like a Cajun style thing, and it was like I sat there. Like sometimes you just get an amazing experience. Like I'll get like a red wine and I'll just hang out and kind of like, you know. So listen, going to the movies alone, it's incredible. Going to the movies alone is one of the most underrated. At first you feel like it's sad, but you're like, you can't talk anyway.
Right. And
you
also
talk after it on the way in. But
you know, I know people who won't eat out alone and they're like self-conscious. Like no one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
No one's gonna be, oh, look at those guys.
Wait, what do you mean though? Like somebody like
they think that they're like, oh, I should I'm gonna bring a book and fake read while I'm sitting here to look. Like you could just be a person, especially in New York, because you can go to the fanciest restaurant in New York and there's 12 people sitting by themselves.
Yes, New York is. I think cities like New York and stuff like that, you're gonna see that. Going out to a restaurant alone is not the biggest deal. But I wouldn't go like I wouldn't go 5-star fancy alone.
No.
Like I wouldn't go to like a top restaurant in the country just alone. I don't think so. I think because I would want to share I want to share that with my wife. You know, if my wife's like, "Where are you?" and I'm like, "Oh, I'm not like."
So you can't even have a good time when she's not with you. Like, I can't eat a great meal when I don't want you to enjoy a great meal while I'm not around. Okay.
Yeah, she would guilt me. Yeah, she'd be like, "Was it good, Paul?" Yeah, sure it was. I'd be like, "No,
when I'm coming back, we can go out." Oh.
Yeah. Well, you know what happened with me? It's just bullshit, man. I wanted to see Oppenheimer with her, and I was like waited, and then my daughter wanted to see Barbie.
Yeah.
And my wife goes, "Let's just go see Barbie." And then like we were with other kids, and they go, "Let's go." So I go, "Stace, I want to see Oppenheimer." And she was like, "Paul, we're with the kids." So we go see Barbie. And guess what? All this time passed. And I don't know if Oppenheimer's still, you know, like I tried to do the right thing because one time I was going to go to Oppenheimer alone. And my wife goes, "But wait, I wanted to go with you."
Yeah.
And now I might have missed that opportunity. I got to see.
I think it's still out.
Is it still out?
Oh, yeah, that's still out.
Yeah. You know, 3 hours of Oppenheimer alone.
I mean, yeah. That's those 3-hour movies are the ones that are like, oh, man, it's very unlikely I'm going to see that movie because of that running
because of the time.
Yeah, but I'm sure I'd love it if I saw it, or it's possible I'd love it.
Yeah, I love going to. You go to the movies alone, Mike?
It's also one of my favorite things to do. Do you remember Movie Pass?
Yeah, they kind of brought it back, but I don't know what the deal is with it.
Well, after COVID, but after COVID, it went away, right?
It went away because it was a disaster financially for them. But $10 a month, and I would just go
$1,000 worth of movies.
Seriously, I would go between spots. Like at night, if I had like a 2-hour gap, I'd go sit in a movie theater, take a nap. Like it was the greatest thing that ever happened.
What are you, homeless? The fuck?
What
are you napping for, man?
What else am I going to
wiped out from your 15 minutes? I didn't even know you were a comic till just then, by the way.
I could sit around fake read a book? No, I'll go watch a movie or take a nap.
That's the funniest thing, going into a movie to sleep.
How do you feel about, I feel like, even though I'm sort of somewhat in the film business, a movie theater cannot be empty enough for me. Like,
dude,
if I walk in, there's no one. Oh, thank you,
Todd. I don't think you understand how much what you just said is me. Like I am, people that really know me know this, but I am incredibly private. I want to be away from people. I love being. If I walk into a movie theater and there's 2 people or none, it's one of the greatest moments for me. When I go into I don't like being around a lot of people, and I know that's funny for our profession because of our profession we are. But I think part of it is like I live in the country, so when I'm done,
oh, really? Okay.
When I'm done, I get in the car and there's deer all over my lawn, and I'm in the woods, dude.
See, I'm different because I like being among people. I live in Manhattan, but
yeah.
So but you also have a whole family. So I think living alone in the country might be a lot different.
Yeah, but even that would be. You know what? Now that I live alone, now that I live in the country with a family, I would people are like, "Oh, would you? If you had a family, would you still?" No, if I didn't, I still would be there.
Yeah.
Because it's just, dude. I know it sounds funny. We were talking the other day. You ever just fucking eat a sandwich and stare at a tree while the wind blows? Like you're just going this is pretty fucking. But it's also an age thing. Like you hit 40 and that matters.
Yeah.
If you're 22, you're not looking at a fucking tree.
No, definitely not.
No. You're trying to get laid. You're running around. You're scheming for what the night's gonna be. You go out. You do a set. It's who's drinking, dude. Now I'm like, can I just get out of here? Like now when someone's like, hey, you want to go up first because I know you live far away. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. I'd love to. I'd love to be out.
Yeah. I like going on early.
Privacy, man. Like, you can't put a price tag on privacy. Like, I see some houses that are $1 million house, $2, $3, $4 million houses in beautiful neighborhoods. You walk outside, you see the neighbor's house right there. You see it. Like, when you walk out, hey, how you doing? I don't want that.
Yeah, even in like sort of like Beverly Hills and stuff, I feel
Yeah.
like those houses are on top of each other sometimes.
Yeah.
That's why I don't live in Beverly Hills, because the houses are on top of each other. I don't know if they're on top of each other, but there's sometimes they're like, you'll see one advertise $80 million on 3/4 of an acre. Like, that doesn't sound like a lot of land for someone who's got an $84 million house.
What are you doing with Todd Barry gets $400 million taxed already? Taxed already. You got your $400 million net. What are you doing? Where are you going?
$400 million?
$400 million you have. Money is not an issue for you. Not only is money not an issue for you, you can basically go the highest level anywhere in the world for the rest of your life. What are you doing?
I mean, the selfish things I would do if I was handed $400 million would be get a really nice apartment. Why is that so funny?
It's such a Todd. That's the greatest thing. Like, you're like, no, I'm not going mansion. I'm not going.
No, I mean a big apartment. Yeah, big. Like some mansion.
So you're talking like $30 million penthouse.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
I'd feel weird having a third. I think I'd always feel weird having. I mean, did I win the lottery in this scenario, or did I just get a really good Netflix deal or something? Thinking where it's $400 million.
Yeah, you just something happened. Yeah, we could say you hit, whatever it was, Powerball or something happened.
Let's
But
do it that way then.
so you wouldn't go like 30 million penthouse. You would just go like really.
I mean, it's one of those never know what I would do. Maybe I would be like, I'll have 360 million left after.
Yeah.
And not to sound all preachy, but I would want to give a lot of it away.
Okay. No, that's
Because, I think if you just walk around with $400 million and just keep it to yourself and there's people starving and you're kind of...
so you would donate to charities.
Yeah, I would donate big donations.
Oh, big donations. He
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that."
I mean, what are you going to
Your
do?
eyes, Paul, was like you were thinking big donations like giant wads of cash. You just get to drop in front of people. I could see it. You were just cash, just handing over cash. Like look what I did.
Just Todd Barry walking the streets of New York, just dumping buckets of cash on homeless guys' heads. That would be amazing.
But I do think, I mean, I wouldn't want to win the lottery. I think it's a nightmare.
Now you're saying that because of like family and all that, or
I think it's ruined a lot of people's lives. Winners, there's been a documentary.
is there a movie on that?
There's one called Lucky. Yeah.
Oh,
was on
I didn't see
HBO.
what was.
Just about these people, like they lose their friends because then they think they can only hang out with other rich people because their friends are jealous, and then
Yeah,
and also some people just blow the money. They find a way to fucking blow the money.
dude, that's yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, one thing I can promise you is my wife would not let me have any control.
no.
No.
What would you do with $400 million?
I would get a house somewhere on an ocean, somewhere in the water. There would definitely be a home on a beach.
Okay.
That's a definite. I would probably stay in upstate New York in my house, but I would just obviously get the house. I'd probably get like a $5-6 million home. That was just my forever home. Nice cars. I think I would travel the world.
Yeah.
I think I would travel a lot. Go see things that like you're not going to see. Make sure my kids were okay. But I will tell you this: there would be a couple things that I would do for fun, like maybe a yacht.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
some things that are just like. But I wouldn't be like, and I would definitely give to charity. My main thing would probably be to cancer research. But ones that like where like 20%. Not the ones where 20% go to the research.
Right.
Because when you find out where this money's for charities go, it's all bullshit.
Yeah, they're definitely, presidents of charities that were making like $1 million a year or whatever.
And church pastors shouldn't have a boat.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. It's like I'm all for like if you're religious or religion and church going people, but like your pastor can't pull up in a Rolls Royce and you talk to me seriously.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah, it's just gotta be a little bit humble.
Yeah. That reminded me of that Wayne's brother movie where the preacher was going, "Don't ask why come or how come preacher has to have him a nice car. Don't ask why."
Don't ask. Yeah.
Yeah, don't ask any questions. He was
That's
basically
funny.
saying. But No, I think that I would do the right thing. I would donate. I would make sure that me and my family were taken care of and comfortable, and then I would just kind of enjoy my life. But I wouldn't be like ridiculous.
Wouldn't you worry that suddenly people would be coming out of the woodwork like, "Hey, Paul, I'm your 14th cousin"?
Oh, I would, but I would read right through that.
Yeah.
I would, like if that happened, I would be like, "Oh, you are? Great."
I mean, I think that's part of the thing that could happen, and probably does happen when people.
Yeah. What did that guy? What's his name? O'Leary, Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. What he said was, when family asks, he said something great. He goes, when family asks for money, and they come to you, he goes, this is what you do. And he said, if you love them, like close family, but he goes, look, he goes, I'm going to give this to you once. He goes, I'm going to give you something once. You can never come to me again. Obviously, it has to be reasonable, but you never come to me again, and I'll do it once. And if you ever come to me again, I'm just going to literally say we did it once, no, and that's it. And he said that actually, like, kind of worked. So, like, his brother or sister, or whoever, and he just, like, wrote him a check and said, that's it.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah, I think because then you kind of set the precedent of, like, that's it. There's no...
Do you watch Shark Tank?
I do.
Because I have a Kevin O'Leary story, actually.
Oh, no, you don't. Really?
Yeah, I do.
Guys, this isn't a setup on the Virzi effect. Okay,
I've probably already oversold it already. But
no. Go ahead. That's
no, it's just kind of a thing that happens. Not like a big ending or anything, but it's just... I was at LaGuardia Airport.
I thought you were like, I'm on a yacht doing coke with Kevin O'Leary. No, go ahead.
I'm at LaGuardia Airport, and from a distance, I see this. I think that's Kevin O'Leary, like black suit, black tie. And then I was like, oh, yeah. And he seemed really frazzled, and he's fumbling through. Like, he had this briefcase that had like 16,000 pages of shit in it. And then I go to the bathroom, and I turn around, and Kevin O'Leary's like by the sink. It's just like full dressed up, black suit, black tie. Just like he jumped off the Shark Tank set and is just standing there like, hi. I didn't say anything to him, but
oh man,
it was just surreal because he didn't like have a hat on or he's like
just like him.
It's just like I mean it was just like if he was in Kiss and wore the makeup to the airport or something. He's like it's just. But
do you know I had a Shark Tank? I had a couple Shark Tank ideas. Do you ever have one?
No, I'd like to because I feel like it'd be fun to do the presentation.
Oh, it would be really fun to do the presentation because here's the thing. You know what's going to happen. You're going to give the presentation. There's going to be a couple people interested, and they're going to say, let's talk numbers. And then if there's no numbers, they're going to kill you. But before, I actually had it a long time ago. It's going to seem stupid now, but here was my Shark Tank thing. Okay, and if I said this on the show, it would have been years and years ago. An app. See, but you live here, so you don't have to worry about parking. But parking in New York City is a nightmare, especially if it's not after 7 p.m. where you could park on the street. Like coming down here now to do the show, I had to be in a lot. But an app that when somebody leaves a spot, like the app knows your location. So you're on 52nd and 3rd, right? You pull up, you're on 52nd and 3rd. That you pull up the app, it knows when you pull out, it pings on somebody else who has the app that if you're in New York City, a spot opened up. So basically, it's an app where if you're people that are in that section of the city know that if they're searching and looking for a spot just opened up. And sure enough, somebody had the app. I think somebody.
I was going to say, I feel like that must exist.
This was a long time ago.
I watched one yesterday, a rerun, where they famously passed on the guy who came up with Ring.
Oh, my God.
Like only Kevin O'Leary, I think, had an offer, and the offer was just too greedy. But everyone else was like, no. And then the guy sold it for $1 billion.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I think I had a joke where I was like, I would just be the worst. I would just be happy to have them working with me.
Yeah.
I would give them 90%.
I've said the same thing. Like, not on stage, but I've said the same thing. We're just like I asked for 10%. How about 20? Yeah.
I mean, my business partner is Mark Cuban.
Right,
I'll take 10%.
Yeah, I'll take 80% of the. Yeah.
Some of the things people come up with are amazing, though.
Yeah.
Like some of the inventions and some of the things that like just make your life easier. One guy had a thing where he would like if you went out camping, it was like this. I don't know, was it a flare gun? It was just something. I forgot what it was, but it like saved lives. And they were like, I don't know. What about the one where the wobbly desk or the wobbly table for the restaurants?
Yeah. Oh, the wedges.
Yeah. And the guy was like, no, any restaurant in the world will never have this problem ever. All you got to do is this. And they brought in a wobbly one, and he did it, and like it was perfect. And they were like kind of interested, and then like they were going down, and like it looked like all of them were interested, and then he just didn't get a deal.
Wow.
And then we the other night, me and my wife happened again.
That's
and we're
a
going,
huge.
That should have been a past invention.
I will always ask the server to fix that.
You will?
Yeah, or I'll do it myself, but I'd rather not touch the floor. But yeah, I'll never just sit there with a wobbly table.
Okay, so are you, look, what are your, so you got phobias or no?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I just talked about this on Neil Brennan's podcast. But lightning, very scared of lightning.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, then you would not have liked up by my house last night because it was
Oh, it was brutal?
Oh, dude, brutal to the point where the whole house lit up blue and it was cracking and I thought it was going to come through my house.
Oh.
Yeah. So, okay, so lightning, what else you got? You OCD or no?
I got a little OCD.
yeah.
A little.
Yeah.
What about you?
Big.
Oh, you do?
Big OCD, anxiety.
Yeah, I mean, I got the anxiety.
Anxiety, OCD. Not really fear of. I don't love snakes.
Yeah.
You know, snakes are something that I could do without. I'm trying to think of like I don't have any like phobias.
Heights?
Not so much heights, but like flying used to freak me.
Yeah.
I would drive till I wouldn't fly till like 05 or
Oh, really?
Yeah. I drove to Milwaukee.
Oh, wow.
I drove places, and then now once I started to. My career started. I had no choice. I had no choice but to get on airplanes. But I don't. It used to be a big fear. Now I enjoy flying now.
Okay.
Yeah. Lightning is a. So it's not thunder. Thunder doesn't bother you.
I mean, the whole package bothers me because those two. I think those go. I don't think there is thunder without lightning.
There's only heat lightning. There's like when it's even not bad out, you'll see like lightning with no thunder, right, Mike? Is that a? No, I love how I'm asking Mike. Like
It's up in the sky.
Mike is a meteorologist.
Yeah, Mike's a meteorologist.
I actually did minor in weather and climate in college.
Did
you really? Holy shit.
Ironically, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Dude.
Yeah, it's lightning. It's heat lightning is not a real thing. It's just lightning that doesn't ever touch the ground. So it's bouncing from one part of the cloud to the other. It's making an electrical connection within the cloud.
Mike, what's the 10-day forecast out here?
It's going to be day and then it's going to be night.
So lightning, and now are you OCD where like it's thoughts, or are you OCD with actually doing things?
I have thoughts, and I wash my hands a lot, and there's like things like if I touch my shoes, I kind of want to wash my hands.
Okay.
But I guess that's not completely crazy.
Yeah, it's not.
But then there's weird ones,
If I touch shit, there's just something where I feel like I should.
Like today, I walked by a dry cleaner that said new hours, and I kind of had to. I stopped to compare the new hours to the old hours, which were below. Like, what are we fucking? It's not even my dry cleaner. But I actually put in like 5 seconds after it to go. I gotta know what their new hours are. Oh, I see. On Saturday, they're closing a few hours earlier.
It's not even my dry cleaner.
Yeah.
You're judging it like, who did this?
I'm just curious.
That would be so funny if you went in there and you talked to them. You go, guys, about the hours.
Yeah, I don't know. You should stay open a little later on Saturday. But
oh, that's great, dude.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But anxiety, you have that. I had it. I'll tell you. Well, I was starting to tell you this earlier, but I couldn't get my cat into a carrier today.
Yeah.
I was taking her to the vet, and like I knew I had made a vet appointment yesterday for today, and once the appointment's confirmed, and it's just like pure anxiety of how I'm going to get her in the carrier. I couldn't get her in. Had to reschedule the appointment for later in the day. Still couldn't get her in. So now it's tomorrow.
So when you open the cat carrier, she just would not.
She fucking. I mean, I hate to be like overselling how smart cats are, but she just knows.
They know.
She knows something's going on. She knows I just put the carrier out, but I put it down a few days earlier, and she just like hides. And like there's places, because I'm a bit of a pack rat, so it's real easy to hide in my apartment and have me not be able to get you if you're a cat.
Oh, you like you hoarder?
Yeah, I'm a little hoardery, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, that's not a really great story.
No, that's it's sad to me because my cat of 18 and a half years, I had two, Thomas and Stanley. Thomas was 16 in a couple months, and he just got sick, and that was tough. And then Stanley was 18 and a half, and he was like a dog.
Oh, you lost both of them? Oh.
Within 2 years.
Oh, man,
yeah,
that
and
sucks.
it was and I'm the one to take them and hold them when they do it, and it was just like it was, dude. That was like the first time where I felt like real pain. But he looked in my eye. It was done, man. Like it was. I knew, and he knew, and then it was like the cats are smart. They let you know. Cats are very prideful. When they die, they want to be alone, so they try to run out. They try to run out the door because what a cat wants to do is, and it's just in their instinct because of their pride. When a cat is sick and dying, and people who have them in domestic cats in their house. I mean, they do it in the wild, but domestic cats will actually do it too. Where when the door opens a crack, they kind of want to get out because they want to just go run and die alone. And it's fucking. Yeah, man, it's brutal. They're super, super smart. We were watching this thing. It's funny. Giannis Pappas lives 6 houses down from me. Okay, up where we live in northern Westchester, and he'll just call up and just go, "Hey, you want to watch a doc? You want to watch a doc?" So he'll literally come. He walks in my house like Kramer in Seinfeld. I'm not joking. He'll just like his family's sleeping, my family's sleeping. Everybody loves everybody. He'll just walk in at midnight, and I'll just be, "You want to watch a doc?" And we're watching this thing on Netflix called Predators, and it's Tom Hardy, the actor Tom Hardy's narrating it.
Okay.
And they're in the Serengeti, man. And they're basically, each episode is a different. So the first episode were cheetahs. Last night was lions. And dude, this lioness was just like looking for her cubs because they have to leave the cubs to go get food. And sometimes the cubs just get it, either from a hyena or from even other, sometimes rival, which I didn't realize is cats have rival packs of same breed. So there'll be like a lioness. It's like Lion King. There'll be like a bunch of lionesses don't like these lionesses, and they protect their cubs. And if they come in, and like you just see this like lion come out, and she's looking for, she's making noise, calling for them, and it's just like this big, beautiful animal like calling for them. And then Tom Hardy's like, "But they had bad luck." And you're just going, and like they make it like a movie. He's giving them names. He's like, "Nikki can't find her cubs, but it's real." And then they showed, this was fucking nuts. The cubs, there's 10 cubs, and they were starving, and they were actually getting skinny. And I'm kind of thinking like, almost like that Kinnison bit,
right, why don't you feed them?
Where I'm like, there's cameras that see this, but like the cubs are getting, and they're like telling the whole story, and they're following it. And there's a bunch of giraffes come in. And dude, the big one, the mother and the grandmother went for the big one so they all could eat. And what they do when they hunt the giraffe is one lion grabs the back leg with its teeth, then the other lion grabs it. So the back legs, and the thing just walks for an hour trying to get it off because it's, and then finally, like the third one jumps on its back, and then this thing just comes down.
I didn't even know giraffes were prey to anyone.
And then you just saw all of them, and they just like, and you just see them like full bellies, red thing going, and you're just going like, oh my God, man, it was amazing. But like, it just, I know it's stupid. I'm watching a lion and I'm thinking of my cat that died.
No, that makes sense.
It's just fucking, dude, it's brutal, man. When the cat gets...
Yeah, when I see like TikTok videos where it's like, this is Herman's last day tomorrow. And like, I mean, I don't think I'd ever make that video of like holding my cat saying I'm going to put her down tomorrow. I would be too much of a mess. And also it's weird, I think it's not weird to tell people about it, but I would, to make a little
that's
like...
That's 100% right.
Yeah, have a look at her while... until tomorrow. But even those, I mean, or when people on Facebook, just talk about their cat dying and other people, and people dying, I just fucking...
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. Yeah, like, I don't know why people do that. They were like, "You were my best friend, and you're hugging, the dog's still alive." And I'm going like, I don't need to, just like, shit like that makes me cry.
Yeah.
Like I can watch a human being be hurt, and I'll be like, "Oh, that sucks." If I see like a dog limp, I'm just like, "That's fucking horrible."
Did you see Don't Fuck with Cats?
I did.
Yeah,
that was nuts, man.
That was a hard one.
That was nuts. But what was really cool was when that woman saw that it was like real. Because at first, like internet, you don't know, but when they saw that it was real and that person did that to a cat, it was like a community came together.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
I would actually say that's a great call. If you guys didn't see Don't Fuck with Cats on Netflix, it's probably one of the most insane and like pretty intense documentaries that I've seen in a long time. I watch a lot of crime stuff, but the things I do like to stay away from are kids getting hurt.
What crime ones you watching?
The serial killers.
Did you watch the Depp versus Heard one?
I watched the regular thing. Was the doc good? Because I watched the real trial.
Yeah, I mean, what they did is they put the testimony side by side because they had separate trials, I guess, or different days that they were on. And they just kind of, I mean, it was worth watching, but you just also feel kind of dirty watching it. But
did it side more with Amber Heard?
It was. I mean, it was
because the real trial made her look horrible.
Yeah, I mean, well, also some stuff came out that that wasn't the document, that wasn't in the trial, that really didn't make him look very good. But
really,
yeah,
like that he hit her and stuff, or
I forgot what it was. That's so typical of me. Oh, and then I tell you this. Well, what about it? I don't remember anything. this thing happened, but I can't tell you any
Did
details.
he beat her up? I don't know. I just know that he didn't look good.
Something was bad with him. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I can watch any kind of murder as long as it's not children. I didn't watch the Rich Ramirez Night Stalker because I found out he took a kid out of the house. Like if there's kids involved or like animals being killed, I didn't know what Don't Fuck with Cats was. That's why I watched it.
Yeah.
If I would have known that if like somebody's like, oh, somebody hurt a cat or did something, I wouldn't. But like it really is more than that.
Yeah.
The documentary is kind of more. The documentary is that this dude was like a killer.
Yeah.
But like it's weird that it starts with animals for them. It's weird that it starts. It's weird that it starts with animals. But no, man, I never would have thought I would feel the way I felt when I lost my pet. Never thought that I would feel that. Honestly, crying, like tearing up, and the lady told me that it's 3 shots, and she said the first one sedates him, the second one puts him to sleep, and the third one is what kills him. And I said, well, I'm not going to be here for the third one. So I said, I'm going to hold him until he goes to sleep,
God.
and I'm just holding him. Dude, I'm telling you, like 18 and a half years I had this cat. I was 26 years old.
Yeah.
And he's been, and his name was Stanley, and I would call him over. Dude, you could ask any comedian that knows me that would come to my house. I'd be like, Stanley, came over like a dog, sit on your chest, throw his head into you. It was like a dog. It was like having a dog. He was a beautiful cat. And seeing him like that, when they're, cats do really funny things when they're dying. They put their head against the wall. They put their forehead or their nose against the wall. They want to be really close to something. That's a really bad indication. And when a cat doesn't have disease, like now I'm a fucking vet. No, but I learned all this. When a cat doesn't have a disease, what really kills them is the kidney failure. It's just old. So what happens is their kidneys, because like they checked and they were like, oh, his heart's good. As long as they're good, everything is good. But what happens is the kidneys, and then they start to pee where they shouldn't. And you're going, okay, that's it. But it wouldn't have been fair for me to. Because I actually said, I go, I'll fucking pay whatever.
Yeah.
Like, keep this fucking kid alive.
Yeah. When I go there for tests, sometimes they'll be like, well, she can have these tests, and then if, you can also do them all.
That's
love.
love.
I'm gonna be like,
yeah.
Oh no, let's not. We don't need to try those other ones that you put in my head. Like if you say she might need these tests, then we're doing the tests.
Yeah. And what sucks is you never know if they're telling the truth.
Yeah,
they're mechanics, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I have pretty good vets, but yeah, there is always that thing. You're like, all doctors though. I feel like, did I need this little upsell here?
Yeah, anytime you hear the word might, anytime you hear the word might need, it's like no. Like they told me, they were like, listen, your cat. I don't know if you know this, but your cat would need his livers. Oh no, his kidneys are going. I can give a blood transfusion and like they said, and then they go, but if he gets a blood transfusion, he could go into a coma. And I just looked at the lady and I'm going, look, ma'am, is this like, can I keep my cat alive? And it got to the point where it's like, you could keep your cat alive for another like 20 hours. And I'm going, I'm going like, nah, he's,
that's
and I wouldn't do, and not to make this even more sad. Hey, it's the Virzi Effect, everybody, comedy podcast. When I was holding him and I was really conflicted on what to do. Even though it was very clear what to do, but I was clouded.
Yeah, well, it's a hard thing to.
Like my wife was the one who's like, we can't keep him like this, and then my wife is bawling, crying. Yeah. So it's brutal. And then, but he looked at me and he just kind of let out a little screech, and I was just like, nah, he's done. I'm not gonna let this. I'm not. His whole life up until like the last week, he was for 18 and a half years. He was comfortable. I'm not gonna be the guy to like put tubes in him and give a cat a blood transfusion when he's 18 and a half. And then they said that's gonna make him go. She kind of made the decision easy for me. But you know what she said to me though? She goes, people are crying. Listen to this. What she said to me was, she goes, it's really cool to have a pet owner like you. And I said, why? And she goes, because you did everything, but you're logical and you understand, and like you're putting the pet first. Yeah. Because a lot of people put their feelings first, but it's not about you.
I dread having to make that decision.
How old's your cat?
She's 5-ish.
Oh, you're
5-ish.
Oh, you got a good 10.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully I'll go before she does.
That's how you know you love your cat. Yeah, what is it? A certain breed of?
She's a calico.
Mm-hmm.
Her name's Michaeline, which is a fancy name, but it's what her name was at the ASPCA, and I just capped it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Michaeline.
Yeah, it's kind of fancy.
Was she a kitten when you got her?
Yeah, she was a kid. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You ever thought about getting another one?
I kind of wish I'd gotten 2 to begin with.
Yeah.
But it's a tricky thing. Everyone who's not into cats is already like they're listening to something else right now. But
yeah. If you're not into cats, sorry guys. I got a dog. I love my dog.
But yeah, I mean, I think because I watched a documentary. I think it was called "The Mind of a Cat" on Netflix, or the lion.
No,
next
it's
to,
the lion in your living room.
Yeah. There's another one I think called "Mind of a Cat," something like that. But this guy was saying like, you could get another cat, but if they don't like that cat, then you got to kind of. You think they're more relaxed, but you're actually causing them stress too.
Yeah, you should get a cat, like 2 cats from the same litter when they're kittens, and then that's all they know is each other. Like our 2 cats, all they knew was each other, and they were brothers. They slept like entangled with each other. They would lick each other, clean each other all the time. Here's a fun fact about cats. So dogs, you're a part of the dog's pack. So like the dog is like when we come home, the dog is like knows that he's kind of secondary.
Yeah.
We're his pack, but like he's in our house. Cats actually think you're living in their. Like you're a nuisance to them,
right?
So like when you come home, she's like, "Oh, this dude's in my space,"
right?
Because it's like cats think that like it's all about them, which I really think is fun. You got a cat, Mikey, or no?
No, I've got a dog.
All right, listen, you don't have to be
man
that
up
quick
and get a cat.
I'm allergic to cats.
Oh, are you?
Bad.
Oh, okay.
So that's over the years. It's making me hate cats. But not for any reason other than I'm allergic to them. So I'm always like, stay away, stay away. I got a tiny.
He's got a tiny dog that's like the size of a cat.
Okay, I like
big
little
old
dogs.
Fat cat though.
What?
She's like a big fat cat.
Yeah.
She's a big girl.
We're at 40. So let's talk about the special. Let's talk about the special.
Weirdly called domestic short hair, which is a breed of cat.
I mean, everything's been flowing right into each thing with this. It's not even Kevin O'Leary thing. He went to climate school, whatever the fuck he did. He's a weatherman. Dude, the special, the clips I saw are so funny. And it's such a great, all the things that I saw about it, it's so great, it's so funny. And YouTube, man, YouTube is the play now, huh?
I guess so. I mean, I hope it is, because that's what I'm playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, it would have been cool to have it on Netflix, but there is something cool about getting seeing view counts that information you might not get from Netflix.
Yeah, that's like, because Netflix, you kind of don't really know.
No, unless you're one of their massive, massive stars, from what I understand, from my inside info. But
yeah. Look, I did a Netflix one. You get like certain numbers at the beginning, but you're never going to know exactly what it is. They're never going to tell you, at least me. But like YouTube, you find out people like Ari Shaffir's after a year and a half got 6 million or whatever. I mean, and yours is off and killing it. You did it in Chicago. That's where I think I want to do mine.
Yeah. The Den Theater, which is a really great place, about maybe a 300-seater.
Yeah.
And very well designed for comedy.
How many shows did you do?
I did 2.
You did 2?
Yeah.
Same night?
Yeah.
I'm like that too. I like the 2 same night is
really?
the way to go. Yeah, I don't like when people are like, oh, you come tonight, then you come tomorrow, you wear the same thing. I just think you're in mode. I think when you do it the same night, you're in the mode. You could kind of quickly correct if something needs to be corrected because you're in that.
I just generally don't love doing 2 shows in a night.
Oh, okay.
Don't tell anyone, but
sorry for the people that were in his second show.
But also, because but there is that feeling like if the first one goes well, you're like, all right, I got it. Like I can be a little loose on this second show.
Yes, it's kind of gravy now.
Yeah.
You felt like that? Like you felt like you got on the first?
I remember the first one went well. I don't know which one we ended up using. I forgot which one we used most of the. That's a good question. How long did you work on this hour before you shot it from your previous? How many specials do you have total? I think 6, including half hours.
6, including half. Okay. So, how long was this one before your last?
This was recorded. This was filmed in 22, and the one before that was 2017. So, like 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've never been like every year I got a new hour. I'm turning it over.
No. And I think that's better.
Yeah, I mean, some people like our friend Bill Burr is very like he can get an idea and it's going to be 10-minute bit out of the gate. But
I feel like he wouldn't do a year. I don't think.
No.
I don't think a year is like having it come out in a year. I think like you also. I like the 2.5. I like the 2 to 2.5 year.
Yeah.
I think that's like but plus you also had the pandemic, so that's probably why it was 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I mean that probably delayed a little bit, and also, but yeah. But to answer your question, it takes me a long time to get a new hour.
Yeah.
It's yeah, a few years, I'd say.
Yeah. You touched on any heavy shit or no?
Oh, heavy.
What, are you going trans?
No, no.
I'm sure.
But I have a tour I'm on also.
Nice. Where are you going?
Well, it's called the Half Joking Tour, because I realized I didn't know when the special was going to come out, and I was like, I need to tour, and I don't know if I'm going to have a new hour, so why don't I do half jokes and half crowd work?
That's great.
So it's called the Half Joking Tour.
That's great.
It debuted in Virginia, but it's next week I'm going to Woodstock, New York, then Plattsburgh, New York, then Portland, Seattle, Vancouver, Minneapolis, Madison.
That's awesome
Milwaukee.
that you call it the half. Milwaukee too. Milwaukee's great.
Yeah.
That's
and other
cool.
cities.
That's cool that you said that what it's going to be, because a lot of comics just go out and do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of the comics who would. Yeah, I guess I could have just.
No, that's how we learn.
To give it a little. I mean, I hate to be gimmicky, but it is a little bit of a gimmick. I mean, it's some sort of structure, and it's like, that's what's going on with that tour.
But that's awesome, because like you got to get new stuff. It's really like when my Netflix special came out a week later, I was in San Diego, and I didn't want to do any jokes from the Netflix special. I'm not against it, but I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want, because when I put it out, it's gone for me. If I tell a story, if I do something, I just don't want. I know some people that are like, oh no, I'll do 20 of it, and then this. Listen if that happens. But for me, I'm just like, it's so out of my heart and mind.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
yeah. I mean, it feels good to get rid of stuff.
yeah, and then you go out and you bond. Like last night, I saw Todd. We did a show at New York Comedy Club where you just basically new jokes, new ideas. It's called Nice Try. And I told my wife when I got off, I go, I just like I had some moments. And there was a guy in the crowd, so I had a couple of crowd work moments. But like, I literally had I was just throwing out premises.
Yeah,
and I was just trying to do something. And it was kind of cool, but it was also scary.
It's kind of scary, but it does feel good once you've done it. You're like, all right, another trick I do that I don't always do, but like is open with the new stuff.
Oh yeah.
Instead of waiting to establish your credibility, because I feel like if you ride that wave of because if you open with something new and it works.
Then it's
you got everything. You got everything locked and loaded for the rest of it.
That's actually a good way to look at it. I did something last night where I was just trying to. I go because I just like literally jotted down in my notes, but I go, you ever do something that doesn't work, and in your mind, and like I told the crowd too. I go, guys, listen, I do have a Netflix special. I hope you check it out, but I'm gonna bomb for 7 minutes right now.
Yeah.
And then, but I did this joke I was trying to do this joke about how I heard a porn star say that she was really big into like hardcore anal. And I was just like, is there another type like of anal? Like,
right, gentle
like,
anal.
Is there like I was like a hardcore anal? I go, is there like another? I think that's the only type of anal. And like it got some, but I also didn't realize. The crowd last night at New York Comedy Club with that new, joke thing was like 25% American.
Oh really? Okay.
So they were all. So I asked, I go, how many Americans are here? And there was a few. They were all from like either London or so. But and that gets like whatever, and then I just go like I was like I'm tired of Gordon Ramsay. Like I just went from one thing to the next. But there's something refreshing about that.
Yeah, I used to not like new joke shows because I always been like I don't want people to know that it's a new joke. But then I realized that they are pretty good because you've been warned.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
these might not all fly, so you can't. And once they are on board with that, then I think they have fun with it.
No, and I think once they get the instructions like that, this is new. It does take a little pressure. Like you go, just have fun.
Yeah, it's like I told you some of these might bomb.
Yeah. So the Half Joke Tour is starting when?
Well, it started already, but the next dates are September 21st, 22nd, and then end of September, October, all through into next year, actually.
Dude, the trailer or whatever you put out for it, guys, Todd is so funny. The trailer, like, literally just made me burst out laughing. And normally I'm not one to, and actually, like, not even that I don't promote stuff, but, like, I'm running around, I'm busy with kids and everything, and I just happened to just look at the joke.
Oh, is it the one where I'm sitting with my cat?
How many clips came out?
Clips from the special.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe 6 clips came out.
6, yeah. So I was just in the kitchen and I went through one. I had a second and I watched it and it made me burst out laughing. And that's when I shared it and everything and just saying like, oh, Todd is so funny. But you guys got to check this out. I mean, the thing is flying already on YouTube, but like deservedly so. It is so funny. Check out his check out his Half Jokes tour starting at end of September. It's already going on. End of September. And then all the dates on your website?
Yeah, toddbarry.com. Newly refreshed website. Looks good.
Nice. Yeah, newly refreshed. You got to say that these days, right?
Yeah.
It's not like the old.
Oh, I better check it out now. Everyone's so intrigued by that. My newly refreshed website. Whoa.
I said that too, though, once. I go, hey, you guys got to check out my new YouTube channel. We put a new banner on it. We put a new banner on it. This thing is just like, it'd be funny if that's what took it over the edge.
Yeah.
Like that's what took the career over. Like, dude, I got to tell you, Todd's special is good, but dude, you see his new website?
I neglect my own YouTube channel. I feel like I need someone to sit down with me.
It's
too much now, man.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, that YouTube, Instagram stories, and you get 2 Facebook accounts, and fuck.
It's so, and then when you get all that shit, somebody goes, dude, you got to up your TikTok, and I'm going, dude, there's girls dance. Like I don't know what else. So did you get Threads?
Yeah.
And then now there's a rivalry with Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. Now it's Threads versus Twitter, which is going to go under. And then if you pick one, are you that political affiliate? It's like it's so nuts, man.
I just do what I can. That's all you can do.
Dude, how many clips? It's just. I just heard somebody on Rogan's podcast going. They were just going like, "Yeah, man, it's just exposure. That's the only way now." And it's cool, but it also would be nice if it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, also you could be good, also, and I'm not talking about whoever this was.
No.
But I think this whole clippage thing, where it's just like, I gotta get clips. I mean, you don't have to post every fucking clip. I mean, I guess they help, so maybe I should shut up.
Dude, now it's no, the clips will help, but it's like, who's your clip guy? It used to be like, oh, who's your clip guy? You got, I gotta go do my clip guy. My clip guy really fucking,
Right.
Mikey was a clip. Mikey helps me with clip. They're like, everybody, you have to have a clip guy. You have to have a producer for the podcast. Do you have like a Todd Barry hour? Have you thought about the?
I've had a podcast, but I kind of bailed on it. But you know what I use for help, like with graphics, to change my little JPEGs for my touring? I went on the site Fiverr. You know about them?
No.
I was just sitting in a coffee shop and I needed my artist, I couldn't track him down, so I needed just like the cities replaced on this graphic.
Yeah.
For Instagram, and I just went on Fiverr, find this graphic designer in Sri Lanka, and within 15 minutes she nailed it, and it was $5.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
$5. It's like I don't even know where Sri Lanka is. I forgot, but and just like within 15 minutes, I'm sitting in a coffee shop, just like, yeah, I know how to do that. Sends it back.
But the beautiful thing, what you did with your special, is now that you own that's yours, and it's on YouTube. You have you can break down all the clips. You can have a schedule to come out with the clips for people to see, and that's everything.
Yeah, All Things Comedy's kind of taking care of the scheduling of them, and they're doing a good job.
Yeah, dude, you're a legend, man, and I'm not trying to. You've been doing this for so long, and you're just so tried and true and funny that it's just people need to see it, and that's what the game is now, man. When you've been doing it for decades, you just got to have people see it, because I feel bad for the people that like don't have the patience or time, and they're really funny and they're just not out there, because there's a comic out there right now that's probably brilliant or has really good stuff, and they're just like, look, I didn't get in this for that. But like now you kind of got to be a video guy, you got to be an editor.
Well, I mean, where else? You got to show it somewhere.
Remember like Killing in Clubs Mattered?
Yeah.
You go into a club, you're like, dude, it's packed Saturday night, I killed. Now it's like, yeah, dude, who's on? Yeah, some guy was on the street, just taped himself, put it on TikTok. He's at the Beacon next week.
Those guys don't always.
That doesn't always pan.
Right. There's always that possibility that, there's more to it than just you got a viral clip.
Yeah.
That's not live performance. But
yeah.
That was really deep, what I just said.
I will end with this. And this is something I'd love your take on. Guys, you got to watch out. I don't know if did me and Bobby talk about it? Me and Bobby might talk about Bone to Pick, but I'm going to get into depth with this. Watch out. I'm looking for a new dog, and I almost got scammed, and this is what these people are doing now, okay? So I finally got my wife, Stacy, to agree. I shouldn't say admit I was right, because that won't happen. But I finally got her to agree to get another dog, get a puppy. So we have Lloyd, and we want to get another dog with Lloyd. And we decided to get a Bernese Mountain Dog, not a Bernedoodle, a Bernese. And I'm like, and when you see the pictures of it, she's just like, Mikey, you type in Bernese Mountain Dog puppy, and it's just fucking, they're like incredible. They're great with families. They're great with other dogs. They're so social. They just want to be with you. So I'm looking at these puppies. I go online, and a guy goes, Bernese Mountain, and a legit website for like the whole guy had everything lined up, pictures, everything. And he's like, $700 for the $750 for the puppy, this and that, Oklahoma. So I call, the guy's name's James Smith. Sounds like he's from fucking Serbia when I get on the phone with him. And he's got this accent and everything. I go, hey, he goes, yes. I go 700, yes, and 200 for delivery. The dog will be to you tomorrow afternoon. He goes, so we fly it to New York, and it'll come. And then I'm looking, and I'm digging, and someone's like, dude, they told me I'd have the dog by Sunday. It never happened. And like this guy's website matched up perfectly, and all of his background stuff matched up perfectly with the other sites that were legitimate.
Oh,
so
they just copied the site. And
so he was able to make it look like, yes,
wow.
He had all the questions answered right, but I knew something was wrong. First of all, you're not going to get a Bernese Mountain Dog for $700.
Right.
When you look at the price, they're between $1,200 and $3,000. So two things, guys. If you're looking for a dog, and you got to make sure that the breeder is like, don't do that. Then I said to him, I said, how about this? I said, I'll give you money, but I can't give you all. No, what did I say? I said, give me the dog first. And then I didn't want to like say that I'm like known, but I was just like, hey, I'm in show business. I'm kind of I'm out there. I'm a public figure, whatever. There's no way that I'm going to take. You send me the dog, I will send you the money. And then he just comes back and he goes, how about 500? And then I was like, you fucking piece of shit. I knew what he was doing. So you got to watch out for that. And if there's any real dog breeders out there, I'm looking for a Bernese Mountain Dog, puppy, real. Actually, if you could be in the tri-state area, or Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, something like that, let me know. But watch those scammers, man, because they're doing it. And I guess puppy sales scams are big online, and I didn't know that. So if you could learn a lesson from that, so you don't have to really worry about that with a cat.
No.
You could get a kitten. You could get a kitten around the block.
Yeah.
You could get a kitten when you go to the deli. You get a kitten.
Steal a kit.
With a dog. So, but yeah, dude, I almost got scammed out of $700, and then that would have really made my wife. Then it would have been no dog.
Yeah.
Because then she would have been like, you tried and you got robbed.
This was meant to be, or not meant to be.
Not meant to be. And then she would have had a thing, and she'd go, let's wait. But anyway, that is our show. Todd Barry, thank you for being here,
Thanks
man.
for having me.
No, dude.
This is super fun.
No, so great to talk to you, dude. You're so funny. Domestic Short Hair is available now on All Things Comedy's YouTube channel. Go check it out. Share it. Tell everybody about it. Go see his Half Jokes tour anywhere you could see him. One of the best, one of the true professional, one of the best comics out there. And, fuck Mickey Rourke. No,
I like
I'm kidding. I'm joking. He was great. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Check me out in San Diego, American Comedy Company, October 6th and 7th. Helium in Philadelphia. I will be there the 20th and the 21st. November 1st, the Funny Bone in Hartford. November 1st, the Funny Bone in Hartford. November 2nd, the Funny Bone in Albany. Get your tickets. They'll be available September 18th. I'm making an announcement on a theater show I'm doing New Year's Eve here in New York City. I cannot wait for this. It's the first time I'm performing in New York City on New Year's Eve, and I'm really excited about that. And we're going to be making an announcement on my next special, which will be at the top of the year, probably Chicago. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys next week.